So my journey with God really begins with running. I started running 10Ks when I was 19, and then I got into marathon running, and my identity became Anna the marathon runner. I had run 15 marathons, 30 half marathons, 100 little other races, and that was my identity, that was my life. And then one year I decided to join a running group to get my 5K times down faster, and then I met my two friends. And then one day I was running with my new friend on the trail. I stopped mid-run and just doubled over in pain. Not pain from a side stitch or an injury, but pain from the darkness that I was experiencing in my life. I just really felt the despair of hopelessness, and I needed something. Up until that point in my life, I pretty much relied on myself for everything, and I pretty much trusted no one. But back then, I felt like I had God figured out. I had made him a God of my own thoughts and my own imagination, not the God of the Bible. There were some circumstances in my life growing up where I felt very unsafe and unseen, and I didn't know how to process those circumstances. So she started sharing with me about the God of the Bible, and she invited me to church and to a Bible study. So I started going. The pastor of that church was a marathon runner, and I was a marathon runner, so that helped me to think that, church wasn't so weird. So I started going, and then they started sharing with me about Jesus and who he was. And up until that point, I didn't think about Jesus. I didn't think he loved me, and I didn't think that it really mattered what I thought about him. And I certainly didn't know for sure if I could ever get into heaven. And then my new friends invited me to a Bible study, and I remember that when they asked me, I went, yes. So I didn't really want to go, but my mouth said yes. They shared with me, they prayed for me, they loved me, and I started seeing a difference in their lives. Over time, my heart started softening to what they showed me in the Bible, and I was drawn to their way of living. It seemed like everything that came out of their mouths was right and true and good. And I started using their filter to make sense out of my world. I was in yet another dating relationship that was going nowhere. I desperately wanted to be married, but I couldn't admit that to myself, nor did I have a good track record with relationships. So one Sunday, I just realized that it was time to make Jesus Christ the boss of my life. And so I told him that I couldn't live this life on my own anymore, and I wanted him to come into it and to help me. My dark world suddenly had a light turn on, and he changed me that very day. And I just remember this beautiful peace just came and washed over me. I never felt that before, and all of the insecurity and anxiety and fear just seemed to melt away. One of the reasons for that is just I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that God made a way for me to join him in heaven forever through his son Jesus Christ. And I never knew that before. I just always wondered, how do I know that I would go to heaven? And that assurance gave me such great joy. Little by little, the walls of insecurity and independence started to come down. God changed my heart. He changed my life. He began to do a deep work in my heart to mend the wounds from the past. He brought a godly man into my life. But during the time of waiting on God's timing for our marriage, he used me in others' lives and helped me cultivate friendships that would last a lifetime. And I'm so grateful. I'm not the same person, and I know that my life has a purpose now. I know what I live for. I know what I stand for. And all the hopes of having a godly marriage, living an intentional, fulfilled, purposeful life are just a few of the hopes that I have as a Christ follower.